I lived through every father's worst nightmare. The HOA president called in a SWAT team on me, while my 10-year-old daughter slept just down the hallway. Her excuse? She told 911 that I was holding my own child hostage with a rifle. The reality was, the only thing taken hostage that morning was the truth, until we turned the tables on her. But let me back up. It's 5:34 a.m. An engine growls outside. Red and blue light washes over my walls. No sirens, just strategy. I peek through the blinds. A black SWAT vehicle. Rifles. Silent, steady footsteps. Down the hall, my daughter Sarah is still asleep. She cannot see this. A loudspeaker cracks the quiet. Harsh. Commanding. David Morrison, this is the police. The house is surrounded. Step outside with your hands up. Do it now. My mind races. Back taxes? No, I'm an accountant. Warrants? I've never even had a speeding ticket. Then it hits me, the trencher. Yesterday, I rented a small trenching machine to install a new sprinkler line in my yard. A simple project. Harmless. Within HOA rules, I checked. But Karen Brown, the HOA president, doesn't like me. She thinks my garden ornaments are tacky. I think her power trips are worse. David Morrison, come out now. Don't make us enter. The voice sharpens. I slip into jeans and a gray t-shirt. No shoes. I want to look harmless. I walk downstairs. The flashing lights cut patterns across the floor. Karen's face flashes in my mind. Arms crossed on her porch yesterday, lips tight with disapproval. No words, but plenty said. I raise my hands high, unlock the door, and step into the cool pre-dawn air. Rifles immediately lock onto me. Red laser dots dance across my chest. Walk forward slowly. Keep your hands visible. I obey. The grass is wet, cold under my bare feet. Two officers rush forward. Hands yank behind my back. Plastic cuffs bite my wrists. The search is quick, firm, professional. What's this about? My voice stays steady. I will not give them reason to see me as a threat. We had a call, the lead officer says. His face is calm, worn. Report of a man with a gun, digging. Trenches. Military style. Caller said you were unstable. Said you might shoot. I stare at him. Unstable. Gun. Shoot. The numbers line up in my head. Karen Brown. All I've got is a rented trencher. I answer. I'm putting in sprinklers. It's in the backyard. There are no firearms in my house. He studies me, searching for lies. He finds none. Into his radio. Clear the house. The team sweeps inside. I hear their calls. Clear. Clear. Upstairs clear. They're efficient. Careful. Nothing broken. The officer guides me toward a patrol car, but doesn't place me inside. My heart is on Sarah. My daughter's upstairs. She's 10. Please keep quiet. He nods. We know. The caller said she was a hostage. The word slices deeper than the cuffs. Hostage. Karen dragged Sarah into her fantasy. Minutes later, his team emerges. No weapons. Just a child asleep in her bed. Trencher in the yard. Looks like landscaping. The officer signals. My cuffs come off. He gestures toward Karen's glowing windows, mutters an apology, and the SWAT truck pulls away. But the sergeant lingers. He taps his body cam, marks the footage, and lowers his voice. File a records request. Get the 911 audio, the CAD log. He slips me a card with a handwritten case number. If it's what I suspect, you'll want it. Across the street, blinds snap shut. Porch lights flicker out. Sarah's night light glows steady in her window, my only lighthouse. I breathe until the trembling eases. Numbers. Paperwork. Procedure. That's how you survive this. The sun rises, painting the sky pink and orange. A beautiful morning, except for the ruts carved into my lawn and the hollow in my chest. Inside, Sarah still sleeps peacefully. She's safe, but I'm not. Karen Brown had escalated to war. She weaponized the police. Later, I would hear the 911 tape. Her words, shoot if they resist. I'm just an accountant. I deal in numbers, not madness. My hands shake, not from fear, but from a cold, focused rage. The kitchen table. The clock reads 6:15 a.m. I pick up the phone. One call to make. He answers on the first ring. Luke, I say. I need you. My hook is set. Luke arrives at 7:45 a.m. I note the time in my book. No flashy truck. No roaring engine. Just a clean, practical gray sedan, probably stocked with a first aid kit and extinguisher. That's Luke. Younger brother. Always protector, but he steps out calm. carrying a plain black backpack. Not angry, deliberate, methodical. He comes inside, gives me a firm hug. You okay? Sarah, okay. We're fine. I tell him. She slept through it. I said it was a false alarm down the street. Luke nods, approving the lie. Shield the innocent. That's his code. We sit at the kitchen table. I already have a pot of coffee brewed. He pours himself a mug, black, no cream, no sugar. Luke doesn't dress things up. He takes them as they are. Start from the top, he says. Don't leave anything out. Nothing. I ask. Nothing. So I begin. I tell him about renting the trencher. I describe the expression on Karen's face. I recount the SWAT team pulling in, their orders, their words. Hostage, unstable, shoot if they resist. I show him my notebook, the one with precise times scribbled in the margins. Luke listens. He doesn't cut me off. He just drinks slowly, nodding here and there. His face looks calm, but I know him. He's piecing things together, running calculations, weighing risks. He's shaping a threat assessment. He's forming a plan. When I finish, silence fills the room. A whole minute passes before he speaks. He stares out the window at Karen's place. The perfect lawn, the oversized wreath on the door, ridiculous in the middle of July. Finally, he sets his mug down. She crossed the line, he says. This isn't about ornaments anymore. She created a situation where you, or an officer, could have been killed. I nod. That's the part that freezes me. The word hostage. That's the part that can't be forgiven. We're not swinging back, Luke says. His eyes meet mine. We're building a case. Evidence beats muscle. Always. We'll document every detail until, when the time comes, she'll have nothing. No excuses, no defense, no way out. He unzips his black backpack on the table. No weapons. Just gear. A digital camera. A small audio recorder. A waterproof field notebook. Plastic evidence bags of different sizes. A compact GPS unit. He looks like an army of one. An army made. Of procedure. Step 1, he says, sliding the notebook and pen toward me. Keep logging everything. Every sighting. Every car parked near her house. Every time her dog sets foot on your lawn. Time. Date. Description. Be boring. Be exact. Be an accountant. I nod. That's my language. I can do that. Step 2. He opens a small box and shows me a tiny camera, smaller than my thumb. Birdhouse camera. We'll mount it in the oak. It covers your yard, your gate, the street. Motion activated. Records to a card. Hooks up to your Wi-Fi so you can watch it live. We'll check it daily. It's a silent witness. I say, exactly. For your protection. We hang it from the street. It looks like nothing more than decoration. Back inside, Luke continues. Step 3, we establish a baseline. He pulls up something on his phone. I need photos of your utility meters today. Water, electric. Same time, every day. If she tampers, we'll see the spikes. That's hard data. It clicks in my head. Not just waiting, but setting traps built out of numbers that we go outside. I take photos of the water meter near the curb, the electric meter by the house. I send them to Luke and save copies in a folder on my computer. I title it Brown. Step 4, Luke says, and this one's critical. We do everything by the book. Your sprinkler system. Is it legit? Permits, codes, HOA. It's low voltage, no permit needed, I answer. But HOA required a plan. I submitted it. Approved 2 months ago. I still have the email. Good. He nods. We work in daylight. She works in shadows. That's our advantage. He dials a number on his phone. Yes, I need utility marking for a residential address. He gives them mine. Sprinkler installation. Thank you. He hangs up. 811. Call before you dig. They'll mark every line. Gas, water, electric, cable. It's the law. It's smart. And it shows we follow procedure. Third-party documentation every step. I watch him, steady, focused, in his element. My street has become a staging ground. He's turned this into an operation, handed me a mission. Collect data, stay within the rules, prepare that he packs his bag. I'll be back tomorrow to check the camera and meters with you. Call me if anything happens. Anything at all. When he leaves, the house feels less empty. The anger hasn't gone, but now it has direction. It has purpose. It fuels the work ahead. I sit at my desk, open a fresh spreadsheet, and set up columns. Date. Time. Observation. Photos. I am back in my own realm. The realm of facts, evidence, and proof. A place where everything must align. Night has fallen. Sarah sleeps upstairs. I sit quietly in the living room, lights off, staring out at the street. The neighborhood lies still. Then I hear it. A sound that doesn't fit. A faint squeal. Then again. The side gate. It always groans at night. Time, 11:42 p.m. I log it. The noise is subtle but sharp, the complaint of metal under strain. My gate. The one I built with Sarah 2 years back, painted deep green. I've been meaning to oil the hinges. I never did. Tonight, I'm grateful. That squeak is an alarm. I stay seated, unmoving. Phone in hand. One-word text to Luke. Side gate. He'll know. His reply is instant. Camera live. Stay put. Do not engage. You're a witness. He's right. My role is to watch. To record. I shift to the laptop on the kitchen table and pull up the birdhouse camera feed. The image is rough, grainy night vision in shades of gray-green, but clear enough. A man stands at the gate. Hoodie up. Face hidden. Small build. Jittery. He scans the street, glancing over his shoulder. In his hand, bolt cutters. My pulse pounds hard against my ribs. This is no drill. Karen didn't stop with phone calls. She sent someone. On screen, he sets the cutters against the latch. That latch is solid steel. I installed it myself. He strains, struggles. Then, a sharp crack. The sound carries faintly through my walls. The gate swings open. He slips inside. Out of camera range. My thoughts race. Why is he here? To damage the trencher? To vandalize? Upstairs, Sarah sleeps. Fury rises in me, raw, protective. I want to grab the fireplace poker and face him. But Luke's warning echoes. Do not engage. You're a witness. I switch feeds. One indoor camera points toward the back door. I wait. A minute crawls by. Nothing. Then, a shadow moves across the glass. He's there. He twists the knob. Locked. Always locked. He leans close, trying to see in. I sit motionless, barely 20 feet away, holding my breath. He steps back. From his waistband, he pulls a gun. He doesn't aim it, just holds it, flashlight in the other hand. He scans the yard. Light catches the trencher. Sweeps over Sarah's swing set. He steps toward the trencher, and the night splits with a chime. My backyard motion sensor. A high, piercing beep. Installed last year. The outside unit flashes red. He notices. Freezes. Shoves the gun away. Panic surges through him. He bolts, stumbling, fleeing the way he came. From squeak to escape. Under 3 minutes. I sit rigid. Fists clenched. He had a gun. 10 feet from my daughter's window. What I felt as rage is now iron certainty. This isn't about sprinklers. This is menace. This is violence. I text Luke. Gone. Had gun. Fled when sensor tripped. Luke replies. Good. Stay inside. Lock everything. I'm coming. I obey. I check every door, every window. Then back to the laptop. I save the footage, birdhouse feed, indoor camera, all of it. I label each file with date and time. I am an accountant. Order is my weapon. Documentation is my defense. 15 minutes later, Luke arrives. Not through the front, but slipping silently around back. Flashlight in hand, steady beam. We search together. He stops, points to the ground near the gate. A leatherwork glove lies on the damp grass. He pulls nitrile gloves from his pocket. Evidence bag from his kit. He seals the glove inside. Chain of custody starts now. Near the trencher, a crisp boot print. Luke mixes plaster, pours a cast. We wait in silence for it to harden, the world around us asleep. Proof takes shape in the dirt. He lifts the solid cast, places it in a box. Now, he says, we call the police. Not 911. Non-emergency. Calm. Professional. We're not reporting panic. We're creating a record. A trail. I make the call. My voice steady. Trespasser. Broken latch. Glove recovered. Video evidence. They give me a report number. I log the call. 1:28 a.m. Luke studies. Me, noting the exhaustion, the anger. His hand rests on my shoulder. You did well, David. You stayed calm. You were a witness. His eyes shift to the soil near the boot print. He frowns, flashlight sweeping to the curb, to the water meter. He compares it to the photo I took earlier. His face changes. David, he says, low and grim. That meter's been running hard. The gate. The gun. The trespasser. That was theater. The real crime is beneath us. At dawn. We dig. First light. 6 a.m. Luke is there, shovels in hand, spotless. Always ready. The officer already came, professional, thorough. Took my statement, logged the glove, and cast into evidence. Gave me a case number. I recorded it all that he was cautious about linking this to Karen Brown. A neighborhood dispute is one thing. An armed trespasser is another. We'll investigate. I understood. Feelings mean nothing here. Proof is everything. And we have proof. The 811 call yesterday ensured it. The front yard looks like a patchwork of spray paint lines and fluttering utility flags. Red marks electricity, yellow marks gas, blue marks water, and orange marks communication lines. At dawn, the city crews and utility workers showed up to do their part, laying down the official markers. What they left behind is essentially a map of the buried infrastructure, legitimate, legal, and unmistakable. It also lends our digging a cloak of authority. From her window, Karen will see the flags and assume everything is sanctioned. That's the brilliance of Luke's planning, subtle, simple, and powerful. Here, Luke says, tapping the ground with his shovel. He stands over a stretch of lawn that's darker than the rest, soil wet in a 10-foot band. The soggy patch runs parallel to the city's blue markings. The main line traces the curb, and a branch cuts toward my house near the porch. But this wet strip veers off in a different direction, straight toward Karen's side. I crouch, studying it. Luke is right. The waterlogged ground points directly from my service line to Karen's award-winning roses. The meter was sky-high. I recall aloud, thinking back to the reading. It showed more than 500 gallons drained overnight. I hadn't turned on a single tap. I'm an accountant. 500 gallons isn't a small oversight. It's theft, a slow leak, Luke says evenly, or a slow drain. Small enough to slip past notice each day. But added up over weeks, over months, it's thousands of gallons. Thousands of dollars. He presses a shovel into my hands. Let's uncover it. We begin to dig. The labor is heavy, but there's a strange satisfaction to it. Every spadeful feels like peeling back a layer of deception. We work methodically, slicing meat squares of sod and stacking them carefully, ready to restore everything later. We're not destroying. We're investigating. The damp soil sticks to the steel, rich and earthy in smell. The rhythm takes over. Dig, lift, dump. A growing mound of dirt piles beside the trench. From 2 houses down, Joey emerges to fetch his newspaper. Retired mailman, friendly dog. He spots us, sees the flags, and grins. Morning, David. Sprinkler system, huh? Looks good. You're doing it the proper way. Morning, Joey. I answer. His assumption is a small but crucial victory. Proof that Luke's plan works. We look legitimate. We're hiding in plain sight 0.2 feet down. Luke's shovel thuds against something. Not the sharp clink of stone, but a dull, hollow sound. Hold up. We drop to our knees and scrape with our hands until plastic emerges, blue pipe, like the city's main line. But this one isn't on any map the 811 crews marked that we trace it. It branches off my supply with a T-fitting that looks newer than the surrounding pipe. The sealant is still bright, the joints clean. Recent work. This is it, Luke says quietly, excitement sharpening the edge of his voice. The illegal tap. The fitting steals a share of my water and sends it along this hidden line, straight toward Karen's yard. One side serves me, the other, her. Bold. Simple. Theft, exposed in mud. I pull out my phone and take dozens of photos, close-ups of the fitting, wide angles showing the path. I frame the city's blue markers in the background for contrast. I place a ruler down. For scale, I document everything. The feeling is raw and undeniable, vindication. Here it is, the proof the officer asked for. No longer suspicion, but a physical fact. My lawn turned into a crime scene. I glance at Karen's drawn curtains. I can almost feel her eyes. Does she realize we've uncovered it? That the net is closing in? My satisfaction isn't celebratory. It's cold, clinical. Like the moment in an audit when the one false number makes the entire fraud unravel. All right, I say, brushing mud from my hands. What now? Luke leans on his shovel, studying the pipe, then Karen's house, then me. His mind is already 3 steps ahead. We don't touch it, he decides. We don't remove it. We leave it intact, as evidence. We've done our part. Now the experts step in, the ones with the badges. He dials his phone, but not the police. A different department. The one that handles water theft every day. The one that can prove not just where the pipe runs, but who's been using. It.by 10:15 a.m. A city water department truck pulls up. White body, city logo on the door. Two men climb out, faces set, boots heavy, their expressions practiced from years of seeing it all. I log the time automatically. I lead them to the trench. I point out the T-fitting. The older man, his tag, reads Manny, squats down, whistles low. Well, I'll be, he mutters. Right off the meter feed. No permit, no backflow prevention. That's not just a violation. That's felony-level theft. Luke stays calm as he outlines the high meter readings, the neighborly dispute. He keeps to the facts. Water stolen, nothing more. No mention of the SWAT team, no mention of the gun. Just the truth at hand. Manny and his partner exchange a look, nodding. This is their world, their case now. So you think she spliced into your line just to water her yard? The younger man asks. That's what we believe, I reply. Her grass has stayed lush even during last summer's restrictions. Manny rises, squinting toward Karen's property. We can prove it, he says. We've got a method. He heads back to his truck and returns carrying a small sealed vial and a clipboard. This here is a harmless tracer dye, he explains. We'll inject it into your pipe just before the suspected tap. If that line runs into her place, the dye will appear in her water. It won't hurt anything, but it shows up neon green, bright green. A slow grin spreads across my face. This is more than I hoped for, evidence no one can deny. A visible test. Manny has me sign a release form before he begins. He's precise, professional. I respect that. Carefully, he pours the concentrated liquid into the access poured on my side of the line. Then he and his partner get to work. They open my front spigot. Clear water flows. All right, your side's clean, Manny confirms. Now let's see the real show. He radios for a patrol assist before crossing the street. I watch from my lawn with Luke while Manny, joined by the officer, approaches Karen's house. With the officer present, Manny asks Karen to turn on her hose for 10 seconds. She complies. A second later, water gushes out, a blazing green torrent. Almost like paint, splattering across her pristine concrete walkway. The fluorescent stream spreads like a confession. For a moment, no one reacts. Then curtains twitch up and down the block. Phones appear, held high. Joey's grandson points and yells, "Slime water." Laughter breaks through the shock, and neighbors murmur, "That's her place. Unbelievable." Manny's partner paces the curb, filming the glowing runoff as it snakes toward the gutter. The officer radios a code and records my statement, documenting time and color for the camera. Behind her window, Karen is frozen in place. The bright stain reflects onto her spotless white tennis outfit, giving her a sick green halo. Manny shuts off her hose, snaps a photo, and knocks on her front door. We can't hear from across the street, but we see it all. Karen answers, still in her crisp tennis whites. She glances at Manny, then at the puddle. Her face flashes pure panic before she masks it with anger. She yells, waving her arms, pointing across at me, accusing, blaming. Manny remains calm, speaking evenly while holding his clipboard. She slams the door in his face. He walks back, shaking his head. She denies it, he says. Claims you staged it. Says you're harassing her. He chuckles. I've been at this for 30 years. I know a liar when I see one. He nods to his partner. Pull her meter logs. Last 2 years. The partner hops into the truck, pulls up the data on his laptop, and turns the screen toward me. Here it is. Your account shows steady, low-level nighttime usage for the last 18 months, like a slow drain. Her account? Almost nothing. From her irrigation system. Her bills are a fraction of what they should be for a property that size. The numbers tell the same story as the dye, fraud, theft, the whole picture. This is solid, I say. Thank you. Manny nods. We'll file with the city attorney and the police. Utility theft's a serious charge. She'll face fines. For the illegal connection, investigation costs, and she'll have to pay a crew to fix it properly at her expense. As he speaks, his partner glances at Karen's driveway. Manny, look. That plumbing van. Is that who I think it is? We all turn. A white van with brown and sun plumbing painted on the side sits in her drive. Bet you a donut that's her brother-in-law's company. The partner mutters, snapping a photo of the plate that I remember that name from another illegal tap case in. The next town. Family business. Suddenly the puzzle fits. The man with bolt cutters wasn't random. He was family, sent to scare me. The boot print we cast might well match her brother-in-law's work boots. The city crew finishes up, documenting everything, capping the tap, and filling the trench. They leave the sod neat and trimmed. When they drive away, the only evidence left is the glowing stain on Karen's walk. Relief floods me. We've got her. We've got proof. Luke rests a hand on my shoulder. It's not over, he says softly. She's cornered now. That's when people get dangerous. Stay sharp. He's right. The wind feels good, but my guard stays up. I head to pick up Sarah from school. The earlier relief gives way to a low thrum of anxiety. At dismissal, I spot her bouncing out with her backpack, smiling. She's safe. My world narrows to that smile. I'll protect it, no matter what. I step out of the car to meet her. That's when I see her, Karen, standing by the gate. No child in sight. She's here for me. Gone is the tennis outfit. Now she's in a hard gray pantsuit, like armor. Her face is taut with rage, her eyes locked on mine as I walk towards Sarah. She's trying to rattle me. It won't work. I deal in numbers. Her fury is just static. My focus is my daughter. Sarah runs toward me, her face glowing with excitement. Daddy, we made volcanoes in science class, she shouts, wrapping her arms around my legs. I rest my hand gently on her head. The familiar sense of peace she always brings washes over me. That sounds wonderful, sweetheart. I tell her I make a deliberate choice not to glance at Karen. I won't give her space here. This is school, a place meant for children, to feel safe. But Karen has never respected boundaries. Her footsteps strike the pavement, quick and sharp, as she closes in. Mr. Morrison, she says, her tone cold as ice. I shift my body, subtly placing myself between her and Sarah. Karen, I respond, my voice flat, even. This isn't the time or the place. You need to stop, she hisses, eyes blazing. The polished mask of the calm, commanding HOA president has slipped. What stands before me is the real Karen, a bully, cornered and desperate. In this pathetic little crusade against me. You have no idea who you're up against. Behind me, Sarah presses tighter against my leg. I feel her trembling, fear radiating from her small frame. That's it. That's the line. We're leaving, I say firmly, taking Sarah's hand. Let's go get some ice cream, sweetheart. Turning my back on Karen is a mistake. I misjudge how far she'll go. She lunges, not at me, but at Sarah. Her hand clamps onto my daughter's wrist, fingers digging in. Sarah lets out a frightened cry. You tell your daddy to stop, Karen snarls, shoving her face close to Sarah's. Tell him to leave me alone. Time slows. I see my daughter's terror, Karen's frenzied eyes, the cruel grip bruising. Sarah's arm. A primal part of me wants to react, to shove her back, to make her feel even a fraction of the fear she's putting into my child. But Luke's words echo in my head. Evidence beats muscle. Violence is Karen's language, not mine. I won't let her drag me into her game, not in front of dozens of witnesses. Let go of my daughter, I say quietly. The words burn with restrained fury. It's the silence of a fuse hissing toward the flame, colder, sharper than any threat. Let go. Across the yard, Mr. Henderson, the young teacher on crosswalk duty, spots what's happening. In seconds, he's there. Ma'am, you need to release the child right now. His voice is calm, but iron lies beneath it. His hand lands firmly on Karen's shoulder. Parents are gathering. Phones are out. Cameras are recording. Karen realizes. She sees the eyes, the witnesses, the evidence. With disgust, she shoves Sarah's arm away as if it's something filthy. This is ridiculous, she spits. I was just talking to her. She storms off, forcing her way through the watching crowd, climbing into her spotless white SUV. Tires squeal as she speeds away. I drop to my knees beside Sarah immediately. Are you okay, honey? Let me see. She's crying softly, her face pale. I lift her wrist gently. 5 angry red marks ring her skin, already forming the start of a handprint. Mr. Henderson kneels beside us. David, are you both all right? I saw everything. We're shaken, but okay, I answer. Thank you. You should take her to the nurse right away. Have those marks documented. The principal will want a full report. He's right. Evidence. Documentation that we head straight to the nurse's office. Mrs. Gable, the school nurse, clucks her tongue when she sees Sarah's wrist. She carefully cleans the area, then takes out the school's camera. Incident report, she explains, snapping several clear, well-lit photos. She measures the marks, notes the time, 3:22 p.m., and records everything meticulously. Sarah gets an ice pack and a sticker for comfort. I thank her, then call Luke on the way to the car. His voice is taut, anger barely restrained. Is Sarah all right? She's shaken, I say, but she's strong. The nurse photographed everything. Good. Now take her straight to your family doctor. A second, independent report is critical. By then, the bruising may have set in, which makes your case stronger. And call the principal. Demand that the CCTV footage from pickup is preserved. Tell them you'll be filing a police report, and your lawyer will subpoena it. Lawyer. The word feels heavy, but necessary. This has become a legal ward at Dr. Evans' office, the doctor who's cared for Sarah since infancy. His gentle demeanor hardens when he sees the injury. Just as Luke predicted, the red marks have deepened into darkening bruises. A full handprint blooms across her tiny wrist. He photographs it. He documents it. His written report is precise. Injury is non-accidental, consistent with a forceful grip by an adult hand. He notes the bruising time, 5:45 p.m. Another piece of evidence. Another nail in Karen's coffin. Next day, 2 patrol officers take our statements outside the school. I hold Sarah close. The bruise is still visible, faint but undeniable. Karen storms over, shouting. The officers log it. Their body cams capture everything, including the bruise and her behavior. That night, I cook Sarah's favorite dinner, mac and cheese. We watch a movie. I try to make things feel normal, but deep down I know nothing is the same. Before, this fight was about me, about property, money, control. But Karen crossed a line. She hurt my child. She laid hands on Sarah to threaten me. Everything has changed. This isn't just strategy anymore. This is a vow. As I stand in Sarah's doorway that night, watching her sleep, I make the promise silently, but fiercely. I will protect you. I will make this right. Evidence is no longer just defense. It's a weapon. And we're building an arsenal. The next 3 days blur into relentless focus. Luke and I turn my dining room into a war room. Papers, photos, laptops cover the polished wood table. It looks less like a home and more like a corporate operation. But this isn't business. This is battle. A war fought with documents and digital proof. Each piece of evidence becomes a soldier in our army. Our first strike, a freedom of information. Act request that I submit the request online through the county's emergency services portal. What I ask for is the full dispatcher's log and the audio of the 911 call Karen Brown made about me. The fee is $10. Honestly, it's the best. $10 I've ever spent. 2 days later, the audio file lands in my inbox. Luke and I sit down and listen together. The moment her voice comes on, it sends a shiver down my spine. She sounds calm, credible, like a neighbor worried for safety, not someone weaving a lie. Yes, my neighbor, David Morrison, she begins. Her tone smooth, rehearsed. He's been acting strangely. He's out in the dark digging trenches. He has a rifle. I saw it. I'm concerned about his daughter. I think he's holding her hostage. Then come the words that make my stomach twist. You need to send officers right away. Be careful. He's ex-military. I believe he's unstable. You should probably shoot if they resist. Luke rewinds and plays that last part again. Shoot if they resist. He looks at me, his face tight. She wanted you dead, David. No question about it. We save the recording 3 different ways: on my hard drive, a USB stick, and in the cloud. It becomes the cornerstone of everything. Proof of her intent. Proof of her malice. Next, we line up the evidence from the water theft. I have photos of the illegal tap buried in my yard. I have the official report from the city water department. They emailed me a copy. It documents the code violations, the failed dye test, and the meter readings. We print the logs. I drop them into a spreadsheet and generate a graph. The picture it paints is devastatingly simple. My usage spikes upward, hers flatlines. There's no way to argue with it that we pair. That with the 811 DigSafe map showing the legal pipes on my property. Beside it, we place the photos of the illegal connection. Side by side, the contrast is brutal. This is legitimate. This is theft. Luke takes charge of the break-in evidence. He has the police report and case number. He has the evidence bag with the glove. He has the flawless plaster cast of the boot print. Then he digs further. He spends an hour online, finds the Brown and Son Plumbing Company website. On there, our team, Paige is Karen's brother-in-law, Frank Brown, smiling beside his work van, company t-shirt on, heavy-duty boots on his feet. The tread is distinctive. Luke downloads the photo, zooms in on the boots, and places that image next to our plaster cast. The wear marks, the logo, the spacing of the treads, it's identical. Circumstantial, Luke admits. But strong. Really strong. He's not finished. He remembers my across-the-street neighbor, another Mr. Henderson, not the teacher, just a quiet guy who keeps to himself. He has a doorbell camera. Luke pays him a visit, explains about the trespasser, and asks if he'd be willing to check his footage from that night. An hour later, Henderson emails over a clip. The quality isn't perfect, but it's enough. It shows a figure in a dark hoodie walking down the street and up my driveway. 3 minutes later, he's running back out. The timestamp matches my logbook exactly. His face is hidden, but his size, his quick nervous movements, and the bolt cutters in his hand make it obvious. It backs up my story perfectly. Finally, we gather the evidence of Sarah's assault. The school nurse's incident report. The photos she took of the initial marks. The doctor's report and his photos of the bruises as they developed. A signed statement from Mr. Henderson, the teacher who stepped in. The principal's email confirming the CCTV footage is preserved and ready if law enforcement requests it. Piece by piece, we compile everything: reports, images, recordings, videos. We build a PowerPoint presentation. Clean, straightforward. Factual. Slide 1. The 911 call. Audio embedded, transcript beneath. Slide 2. The SWAT raid. Photos of the tire tracks on my lawn. Dispatch notes confirming no weapons found. Slide 3. The illegal water tap. Photos, the city's report, my usage graph. Slide 4. The trespasser. Doorbell footage, cut latch, the glove, plaster cast. Beside Frank Brown's boot photo. Slide 5. Sarah's assault. Photos of her wrist, nurses' and doctors' reports. Teacher's statement that a mountain of evidence. Solid, immovable. We've been methodical, patient. Bar by bar, Karen Brown has built her own prison. Now it's time to reveal it. The HOA meeting is tonight. Normally it's about budgets and landscaping, dull routine. Tonight, it will be something else entirely. Ready? Luke asks, staring at the finished presentation glowing on my laptop. She's going to lose it in front of everyone. Stay calm. Let the evidence do the talking. You're just the narrator. I glance at the photo of the faint handprint on Sarah's arm. My answer is steady. I'm ready. This isn't just about defending ourselves. It's about freeing the whole neighborhood. The clubhouse smells like stale coffee and air freshener. Around 30 neighbors fill the room. Most are decent people, worn down by Karen's intimidation for years. Tonight, that grip ends that we arrive early. Luke sets up the projector and laptop at the back. Karen is up front with the other board members, her usual commanding presence. She plasters on a smile for each person who enters. When she spots me, the smile falters for a second. When she notices Luke and the projector, a flicker of unease crosses her face, quickly replaced by dismissal. In her eyes, we're just gnats. The meeting starts. She breezes through the agenda: budget, landscaping, committee notes. Then she introduces a new item: code of conduct violations. Her eyes lock on me. It has come to the board's attention, she says, feigning concern, that certain residents have engaged in unauthorized and unsafe activities, illegal excavation, harassment of board members, creating a hostile environment. She means me. She's trying to poison the well before I speak. The room grows tense. Neighbors shift in their chairs. Therefore, Karen announces, voice dripping with authority, the board proposes a $5,000 fine against Mr. David Morrison. Gasps ripple across the room. $5,000. A punishment. A power play. Any discussion? She asks smugly. Did I raise my hand? Slowly. Yes, Mr. Morrison. Her voice is sharp, impatient. I have a presentation, I say evenly. It's directly relevant. I believe it will provide context for the board and for my neighbors. She hesitates, clearly wanting to shut me down. But meeting rules guarantee a homeowner the right to speak. The other board members nod. Her hand is forced. Fine, she snaps. But be brief. I walk to the back where Luke is waiting. He powers on the projector. The wall behind Karen glows white. I take the remote. Thank you. I begin, voice calm, steady. I'm just presenting facts, like an accountant showing an audit. Let's start with an audio recording. A 911 call placed from this very neighborhood a few mornings ago. I press play. Karen's voice fills the room. Calm, deliberate, deceitful. We hear her call me unstable. We hear her say I own a rifle. We hear her claim I'm holding my daughter hostage. Then comes the chilling line. You should probably shoot if they resist. The room goes silent. Every head turns toward Karen. Her face drains of color. She opens her mouth, but no words come. I click to the next slide. A photo of the SWAT team at my home before sunrise. This was the result of that call. I say quietly. A call later. Classified by police as false. A felony. I advance again. The evidence keeps flowing. My water meters spike. The muddy trench. The illegal pipe. The graph comparing my usage to hers. Gasps and whispers ripple through the crowd. I spot Joey, my neighbor, shaking his head in disgust. Karen bolts to her feet. This is absurd. This is slander. He's the one. I ignore her. The next slide comes up, the doorbell camera footage. The hooded figure with bolt cutters. The trespass. The flight. Then the side-by-side. Plaster boot print next to Frank Brown's work boots. The tread is an exact match. This is the same man who trespassed on my property, carrying a weapon the night after the SWAT team came. Karen is shouting now, denying everything. She calls the photos fake, insists it's all a setup. But no one believes her. Every eye stays fixed on the screen. I move to the final slide, the most damning one. A close-up of the bruises on my 10-year-old daughter's wrist. The imprint of a small hand, unmistakable. And this, I say, my voice tight, every word. Costing me control, is what happened when Mrs. Brown grabbed my daughter at school, threatening her to silence me. The room erupts. Voices explode in anger, not at me, but at Karen. The other board members recoil in shock, edging away from her. Then Luke steps forward. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. His calm tone cuts through the chaos. Everything you've seen tonight has been documented, he says evenly. We have police reports, city records, medical files, and notarized witness statements. The evidence maintains a clear chain of custody. It is fully admissible in court. The phrase chain of custody lands like a gavel strike. It gives everything weight, the kind of weight that can't be argued away. Karen Brown is cornered. The influence she built on fear and intimidation dissolves under the light of verifiable facts. She scans the room, searching for an ally. She finds none, only disgusted stares. Her fury crumbles into panic. She's lost control of the story, of the room, of everything. The shift is immediate. While she stammers, trying to regain order, one of the board members, Maria, a quiet woman, stands. I call for an emergency vote, she declares, her voice trembling but steady. A vote to remove Karen Brown as HOA president. Effective. Immediately, the second board member instantly supports the motion. According to the bylaws, all it takes is a majority vote from the homeowners present. Hands rise across the room. Mine, Luke's, Joey's, everyone's. Unanimous. Karen is frozen, speechless. Her rule is finished. Maria wastes no time. This meeting is adjourned, she announces. The board will reconvene tomorrow to appoint an interim president and schedule elections. Neighbors begin filing out, but not before many stop to thank me. She's been a tyrant for years. One woman whispers as she pats my shoulder. Another man grips my hand. You did what the rest of us were too afraid to. The next day, the board goes further than just naming a temporary president. They pass sweeping reforms, the Sunshine Rules. First, every HOA meeting must now be recorded, audio and video, and posted online for residents. No more secrets. Second, any HOA project involving digging requires a confirmed 811 DigSafe ticket. No more weaponizing landscaping rules. Third, disputes between neighbors will be handled by independent arbitration, no longer by a biased president. They aren't just removing Karen. They're fixing the entire system. But Luke and I know the job isn't finished. The HOA recall was community justice. Now we need legal justice that we bring our evidence to the police, not the front desk, straight to the detective handling my trespassing case. We spread everything on his desk, the 911 call, the city's water report, Sarah's medical records that he listens to the call, brows rising. Studies the boot print photos side by side. Examines the bruises on Sarah's wrist. He doesn't speak much, only nods, jotting notes. When we finish, he leans back. This is thorough. You've done most of my work for me. He explains the next steps. The evidence is strong enough to consolidate everything into a single case. False reports, utility theft, trespassing, assault on a minor. He'll send it to the DA's office for formal charges. His prediction? Multiple charges. False report, theft, conspiracy for her. Trespassing, vandalism for him. And possibly assault charges for both. A week later, the call comes. The DA has filed charges. Karen and her brother-in-law Frank are arrested. No SWAT team this time. Just quietly, by the book. Justice, when given evidence, works. Slowly but powerfully. Word spreads through the neighborhood like fire. No cheering. Just relief. The storm is finally over. Life drifts back to normal. A word I hadn't appreciated until I lost it. Normal as birds at sunrise, not engines. Normal as Sarah riding her bike without fear. Normal as digging in my yard without looking over my shoulder. The street begins to heal. First slowly, then all at once. Neighbors talk again. Joey proposes. A community garden where Karen once kept lifeless shrubs. The board approves it. Soon, families gather on weekends, planting vegetables and flowers. Kids chase butterflies. For the first time in years, it feels like a neighborhood. I finish the sprinkler system. Fresh grass hides the trench. The scar fades. So do our nerves. Karen sells her house. A new family moves in. 2 kids, a golden retriever, a basketball hoop. Karen and Frank take a plea. Fines, community service, a permanent record. Justice isn't cinematic. It's paperwork that lingers. That's enough. One Saturday, while checking the sprinklers, Sarah comes out holding her little trowel. What are you doing, Daddy? Making sure it works. She points to the spot. We dug. Can we plant something here? Something pretty. Good idea. What color? Bright. Like sunshine. We buy yellow marigolds. Together we kneel in the dirt. Press. Pat. Water. Her small hands work steadily. I watch, breathing easier. We protected her. Not with fists, but with patience, persistence, and proof. The flowers stand out against the mulch. The street is calm. Kids laugh nearby. Sarah slips her dirt-streaked hand into mine. It looks better now, Daddy. It does. The balance is restored. I know my brother is unshakable. My neighbors care. I'm stronger than I imagined. And my daughter will grow up with one rule carved in stone. Don't lie. Don't cry wolf.